Could DeAndre Swift be a breakout candidate for the Chicago Bears in the 2025 season? We'll talk about that and PFF's evaluation on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Windy City Breeze. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Yo, if you want to see DeAndre Swift be successful this season, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, and drop a bear down in the comments as well. I think most of us want to see DeAndre Swift go out there and be successful, right? And here's the bottom line when it comes down to this. The conversation about Swift being a breakout candidate, I think, makes a ton of sense because of all the changes that the Chicago Bears made here. He's somebody you would expect to be able to take that next step. And Dalton Washington of PFF dropped this in an article where he gave every breakout player for every team that you're hoping to see break out this season. When talking about DeAndre Swift, he said there were serious questions earlier this offseason about DeAndre Swift standing in Chicago after a difficult first year. However, the Bears did not make any splash moves to replace him, and he now reunites with Ben Johnson while running behind a revamped offensive line. Though it came on a relatively small sample of carries, Swift posted a career-high 83.2 rushing grade in 2022, his final season in Detroit. His familiarity with Johnson and the Bears' offensive line upgrades should set the stage for a more efficient 2025 campaign. And here's what I will say, right? I do think that you have to look at the situation that the Bears are in right now. Are they going to go out and add a big running back name? Are they going to go out and find a number one running back? Did they go out and draft a replacement for DeAndre Swift? The answer is no to all of those. And so where you're at right now, DeAndre Swift is your number one coming into this season, and he's somebody who has to make an impact. And I think that the reuniting with Ben Johnson could be important if Ben Johnson decides to give him the ball. And I think that PFF article shows it, right? There were moments, I talked about this the other day on the morning show, on the Morning Breeze. There were moments where I went back and watched the 2022 tape of the Detroit Lions, and there were all these moments where you go, okay, like, that's a DeAndre Swift moment. That's when he should be getting the ball. Why isn't he getting the ball there? What's going on? That's a pass catching moment. Jamal Williams had 17 touchdowns. He wasn't a phenomenal pass catcher out of the backfield. He was okay. You know what I mean? Like, these are the moments where I would think you would use DeAndre Swift. Ben Johnson being the offensive guru that he is, you would think that DeAndre Swift would be a key candidate for somebody who you would want to use in that situation. And we just didn't see that happen. But with that being said, you do have to work with what you have in the building right now. And what we've seen out of DeAndre Swift so far, he's been getting the carries with the number one team. It's what you would expect at this point. And I think that the question is, can you get that 2022 version of DeAndre Swift back onto the field? Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star view. Y'all know what to do. In 2022, again, it is not a big sample size. You're talking about 99 attempts. He had 542 yards. He had 5 touchdowns that season. He was a 5.5 yards per average running back, but they continued to want to go with Jamal Williams in that number one spot. If you can get DeAndre Swift back to that, I think you're talking about an offense that not only is dominant, but also is one of those prolific offenses that you don't have a good option on. Now, the tough part is, right, and this is the biggest question that I've always had with DeAndre Swift. Everybody looks at last season and they say, how can you tell me that you don't have faith in DeAndre Swift when I look at last season and I can't see a team that's actually going to go out there and block for him, right? They're not creating holes. There's nothing for him to run through. Those aren't the problems that I have with DeAndre Swift. The problems that I have with DeAndre Swift is when the moments were right, you didn't see DeAndre Swift hit those holes. When the holes were there, you didn't see DeAndre Swift hit those holes. When the edge was set, you didn't see DeAndre Swift take that edge and a press bounce to the outside, right? There wasn't those moments that existed a ton last season. Now, there were moments that it did. There were games where it did, but I think there were more of the latter. And where I always go to is we saw this as well in Philly, and Philly was great. We saw the high games, the 175-yard games, the big outputs, the big offensive execution. We saw all of that behind a great offensive line. And we also saw this man go out there and basically get, 35, 40 yards in a couple of games. We saw him get basically not make an impact on the field in multiple games in Philly. And that was the concern for me in bringing DeAndre Swift here. You didn't see Swifty be able to go out there and make those plays behind Philly's offensive line. What's the belief he's going to be able to do it here? Now, the difference here, and I do think this is going to be a difference, is having Ben Johnson in the building. I think that will be an accent point, and it is a point of emphasis for this Bears team as a whole. You went out and you got 4 offensive linemen, including Ozzie Trapilo here, who are really good at run blocking. I guess 5 offensive linemen, right? Even if you want to throw Braxton Jones in there, maybe you could say 6, who are really good in run blocking, who are really good in getting to the outside and laying people out. Like, I think that is going to be something, especially an outside zone and an outside zone scheme, if that's what the Bears are going to be trying to run here, that is going to speak to DeAndre Swift's strengths. Also, you're going to need a pass catching back out of the backfield. Now, last season, DeAndre Swift was targeted 52 times. He caught 42 of those passes for 386 yards, 9.2 yards per reception, did not score a touchdown on that. I think that's probably where we see Swift utilized more often in this offense. I think that Roschon Johnson will be a big part of the actual running game. And not to say Swift won't be a part of it at all. I think he will be out there for the run game. But I think if you're going to see Swift out there in any capacity, I would expect to see him more as a pass catching back out of the backfield, which is where he is really good. Get him some screens set up, get him out in space. That's where DeAndre Swift really operates well. You start to create that off balance, and then off of that, you can turn that into some play action plays. Off of that, you can turn that into some easy runs to the outside, getting the easy yards when you can. That is what Ben Johnson, I believe, does bring to this Chicago Bears team. And what does have me excited about the possibility of him being a breakout candidate. Now, again, let me know if you think DeAndre Swift can be a breakout candidate. Where do you think he's going to have more of an impact on this offense, in the running game or in the passing game? I think he could be a real weapon for Caleb Williams, especially in this passing game. Now, I do want to say this, because I think that there is always this belief that, Pat hates running backs. He doesn't want to. Now, do I want to pay running backs? No. $8 million is crazy to me to go out and pay a running back. It's just me. It is what it is. I think, more times than not, the league would agree that the investing in the running back is not the right way to go. And I think the teams that usually don't end up, dominating as often. Now, tough to say after last season with Saquon Barkley and what he did, almost breaking the rushing record. But y'all know how I feel. I think the offensive line was in place. You could have put a lot of people back there and they would have had really, really good seasons. I don't think they break the rushing record or get close. Saquon's special. I'll give you that. Saquon is special. But I think that offensive line does a lot of the heavy lifting when they give you a yard and a half of start before you even get. Actually, I think it was 2 yards before the ball even touched Saquon Barkley's hands. But anyway, I digress on all that. My point in all of this is, I think people look at my criticism of what DeAndre Swift did last season and what he has done over his time in the NFL, and they say Pat just hates this dude no matter what, and he doesn't want to see him be successful. He wears a Bears jersey. If you wear a Bears jersey, I love to be proven wrong. You know who I would have loved to see prove me wrong last season? Velus Jones. And I would have stood on top of the mountaintop. And I do this every training camp. I was giving Velus his flowers last training camp. I was giving Tyler Scott his flowers last training camp. And when you do well, I'm going to praise you. And I just feel like we didn't see enough of DeAndre Swift doing well in a Bears jersey. Now, does that go to the offensive line? 100%. I think that plays into it. That's a massive part of all of this as well. But then those moments where we were getting the seal, we were getting the blocking, we were actually doing well in the run block game, I think it's very tough to say you saw something different than those moments we saw in Philly. But do I want to see DeAndre Swift be the breakout candidate? 100%. Do I think that he has the best opportunity now with Dalman, Tooney, Darnell Wright, Ozzie Trapilo, or Braxton Jones back out there, Jonah Jackson? Do I think he's got a great opportunity to be the breakout candidate this season? I do. And I think that he should be the guy that we're talking about as a breakout candidate this season. But I got to see it. I got to see it. And my thing is, I have to see it consistently. Don't come to me at the end of the year and tell me, oh my God, I've got 1,000 yards. Come to me at the end of the year and say, hey, I had 65 to 75 yards a game. I put us in multiple positions to win. I was adding in 40 to 50 receiving yards in some of those games, and I put us in positions to be successful. Then I feel like we can have a very different conversation around DeAndre Swift. If he has that kind of season, I will be the first person here banging the drum for his praises, and I guarantee that. Hey, man, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Do you think DeAndre Swift has an opportunity to be a breakout candidate for the Chicago Bears this season? Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Let me know, like I said. As always, Bear down. One love. Peace.